It's Oklahoma Archery. Everything archery based out of Oklahoma for Oklahomans. Let's get it started. Hey, welcome everybody. This is David Bosca, and we are on the Oklahoma Archery Podcast, and we are live on our Facebook page. Neil, welcome.
How are you, man?
Good. We're doing just something a little different. We've got some buttons in front of us, and we pushed them, and this is what happened. I don't understand what's going on, but they said we're live, so here we are.
Just like in poker, when you up the blinds, the stakes are higher because I can't edit out anything that I say, which is always a risk reward kind of situation.
That's right. We're going for the 14 right here.
Yeah, I was going to say, yep. So it sounds like Dave's ready for 3D season.
Oh, now wait a minute. This is indoor season and nothing but the indoor season. Yeah.
Fair enough. We'll have to. Right now, it seems like it's more football season than anything, but I guess you could call it deer season if you're one of the early season hunters.
Yeah. What we're going to do, we're going to base just some little things going on, but we're going to have Neil go over a lot. Well, just recently, the home office with ASA has released all the new rules changes coming up. So if you're watching this and you've got a question, go right on in there and type it in. The comment will come up and we'll stream it across. We'll answer it. Or if you've got a question after this is live, feel free to still ask it. I'm sure Neil will monitor this to clarify anything that comes up. If you're on here live now, jump in, just tell us who's here, say hi so that we can say hi right back to you. But we're live on Facebook. So like I said, we're going to go over the new rules that ASA has come out with. When did they actually come out with them?
It was, I believe, just yesterday.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot of notice or warning. I talked to my buddy, Brad Timmerman, who is the former regional director. He's now the assistant executive to the national director. They recalibrated his position. So he didn't know they were coming out either. So he found out at the exact same time I did, and everyone else did at the same time.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah.
They don't give us a lot of warning, but they did drop some new updated rules. We wanted to come and kind of talk about them. Maybe I like the live idea so we can kind of field some questions and, hopefully answer them for everybody all at once because, every organization has, change and, classes are going to change, rules are going to change, procedures, that kind of thing. So, we want to hear back from you. The way I look at the ASA in my capacity as a state director is this is a customer service business, customer service oriented. It's your ASA as much as it is anybody else's. So we want to hear from you.
Yeah. So like I said, we're live, folks. We got a few people listening. So if you've got a question about the new rules, type them in or just jump in and say hello. We want to make sure we're even live. We're guessing that we think we are. So if anybody's out there listening in the social world, type in your name and just say hello so we can see it come across and we'll know that it's working. But we're going to hit some of the updated things for the 2026 ASA. And we apologize for not letting people know in advance that we're going to go live, but this is something we've talked about doing, and we think it could be fun. Let's see what we got here. See, looky there. See Tim Gregg, he's there listening. Hey guys, hello Tim. We appreciate you listening in.
Tim, you are tagged out on Elkett, man. I guess you're getting your indoor bow set up then. Hey, yeah. From Colorado. Tim's out in Colorado. Brandon Gray going to be one of the new ranges on your 2026 Oklahoma ASA schedule for everybody out east. Be looking for that one to come up. So we're pretty excited about that one. Where you just want to start at the top of the rules and kind of see what they're.
Yeah. Let's just start. You've got it more than I've got it, and I'll sit back. If I think of a question, I'll ask it. Or if anybody else posts anything up, we'll throw it out there. So you just start in.
I'm scrolling until I see red on them. I've got my cell phone up here off to the side. So no cutoffs as far as dress code. On your shorts, no cutoffs are permitted, and skirts must be longer than fingertip length. I'm hoping that's mostly for the ladies.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Due to safety considerations, this is a footwear issue. They have officially outlawed Crocs with holes. So if you like to shoot 3D out on the trail with your Crocs, maybe go invest in another kind of footwear. A lot of stobs, a lot of sticks, that kind of thing. So you don't want to lose a toenail on a 3D range.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Anything in red?
All
Scrolling
right.
on.
While you're scrolling, Tim posted a quick thing, dude. I'm loaded in Colorado and headed to whitetail hunting Oklahoma this weekend. Tim, we appreciate it.
God, I feel bad for the deer already.
All right.
Let's see. This is a procedural rule change,
Okay.
except as may be required due to an approved medical exemption. So good luck figuring out one of those. Each shooter must touch the appropriate shooting stake for their class. So front foot or back foot, I assume you have both of them, must touch. I guess you could take a knee on one if you had to, but no more straddling the stake. So that is going to be a little bit interesting as far as your foot placement on some of these uneven terrains. You're not going to be able to straddle it anymore.
That is what it always was back when I was shooting. You had one part of your body had to touch the stake, and then when I got back into shooting, I noticed that I'm like, well, they're not even touching, but you had to touch it some shape, form, or fashion. If you had to kneel, your foot could touch it, and you could be a foot away from it as long as your foot was still touching the stake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting that they're revamping that and going back to it.
So failure to touch the stake is a warning on the first offense, and the penalty for a second offense is a deduction of 5 points from their target score, and any subsequent offense receiving a score of 0. So you get a warning, just like the rule has always been. You get one unintentional warning. You can't say, hey, I'm going to shoot it from over there because I can't see. But if you happen to wander off the stake and not intentionally, you get a warning. So just like always, you've got a warning. You got a little grace period there. So that's going to be interesting. I think that one's, especially when we go to places like Camp Menden and the stake's underwater in the mud. What are we going to have some very angry range officials having to dig out stakes from the slop and make sure that someone's mud boot is touching them? That's going to be a interesting way to and some of them, I mean, Metropolis had some flooding stuff too. That's like a waterfowl kind of zone. So
I think those are going to be few and far. It's mostly, I'm reading into this from thinking of the past. It keeps people from thinking they're getting better footing with their stability 12 inches to one side or to the back of it. Um, it's where it's definitely, if one part of your body touches, then everybody's on the same shooting level ground. Yeah.
it's going to be down the beaten path. And just like last year, the new rule was you're not allowed to amend the ground. So everybody comes in there and kicks until the ground's flat. That's another one from last year, just to be everybody be aware of it. Yeah, because you don't realize till you start answering questions how few people actually use the how few of them actually don't know the rules, read the rules, keep up on them, that kind of thing.
All right, we got a comment here.
Catfish.
That is for you, buddy.
And talk about my cousin that way. Love that dude. I haven't seen him in a while. He's a online personality, kind of redneck fella. Does a backflip at like 320 pounds. Pretty aerodynamic for a big guy. I'm not aerodynamic in that way. All right, here's the hot button issue one. Coaching is strictly prohibited. Anyone receiving coaching will receive a 5-point deduction for that target, and the person providing the coaching will be asked to leave the range.
Okay, so do you know, does it state, is it coaching from the group or from bystanders?
Common sense interpretation is what I was told by
Scott. Okay, go ahead.
Scott Parrott was on the phone with me this morning because I just couldn't let him get through his coffee without bugging him. And he goes, man, we didn't put a bunch of stuff that you can and can't do in there because all the lawyers of the world, like you, will go in and try to find loopholes and find a way around it. So I think the spirit of this rule is largely for the parents And if you've ever been on the kids range at a pro-am, it's all the parents that'll range their target and set the sight for the kid and then hand them their bow and then go coach them on the stake. That's what they're trying to prevent, is that person needs to compete with everybody else on their own to be on a level playing field.
But common sense would also say that they could say, take your time, make a good shot. To me, that would be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, run your process, or go through your process.
Okay. That's common sense. To me, that's okay. But don't set and go, okay, pull, throw, keep your fingers, do what you do. That's a coaching during the shot.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So it's not going to be quite then. And guys, this is not a new rule. It is in red this year because they're wanting to emphasize it. The rule has always been there. It's just never been enforced.
All right.
And basically, we're having some parents help their kids to the point where it's not fair to the other youth competitors because they don't have that same advantage. And like the way we look at it is it's 4 hours at 6 events at these pro-ams that you're not without your coach. That's 24 hours. You got 363 other days in the calendar year where you can work with your coach on how to break a clean shot, how to follow through, doing this and that. I clarified more with the national office today as to what the rules do not prohibit. So if it's a brand new to ASA guy and you're telling him what the difference in the upper and lower is, it's like, hey, there's 3 arrows in the lower. You probably ought to call upper. Remember, you have to call it every single target. You can't just blanket call it. So that's just explaining procedurally to somebody new. That's not prohibited. That's something.
To me, I agree with that. To me, that's just an explanation of rules.
Yeah. That's a. I'll let someone have 5 points to coach me. Oh man, I don't know if Brian's even coachable, dude. I don't. What was your high score on a round last year in the old 145 class? We'll wait on Brian to chime back in. Y'all be looking for the Shot 3DX schedule to come out here pretty quick. I'm excited for that next year. But yeah, as far as coaching, you're still allowed to encourage people. You're still allowed to, commingle. I'm still going to tell you, if you blow an arrow out to the right, I'm going to probably say, where was your bubble when that arrow left? Did you look at that? Did you follow through? That kind of thing. I don't think that's going to be something that is very strictly policed. Like, all you got to say, and it's kind of the group governing the group, all you got to say is, hey guys, remember, no coaching. And you move on. There's no deduction for that. If it happens again and somebody wants to call it out, there's your 5-point deduction. I don't foresee it being nearly as big a deal as everybody online seems to think about it right now, because there's a couple of different states pages where people are like, what does it mean? What can we do? What can we not do? I don't think it's going to be quite as groundbreaking as it seems like. I think it's mostly for the kids, but there's been some adults that seem to try to judge yardage, like as a group. So, if you're judging distance and your competitors are not in your class, you need to let them judge their yardage on their own. Like, oh, I think that tree's 20 and, 10 more is 30 and it's past that, so I'm going to call it 33. That would probably be considered something that was a coaching kind of thing.
And what you're going to end up doing by verbally saying that is you're taking points away from them now.
Yeah. And I don't think you can penalize them if somebody's like, hey, your bubble was off. Like, you said that to them. They didn't ask for that coaching.
Yeah.
That's
Brian says 180 and it was just a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys got to have a common sense interpretation, is what Nationals told me. So don't try to lawyer your way into or out of a confrontation on this one. This is just to keep everybody moving, and we want to make sure it's a fair competition. If you're coaching somebody through a round and they're winning money off somebody else, that might be considered an unfair advantage that person had. Yeah. So, this one's going to probably shave some time off our rounds, if anything.
Cool.
Next big one was spectators are not permitted to be near the shooting stake and shall remain on the main trail at all times. Contact with spectators is prohibited in the shooting area during the round. So basically, you can still go on the range. You can still watch your buddies shoot. You have to stay on the main beaten trail. You're not allowed to go down each lane with them. So you have to kind of stay back a little bit, just as far as Jake Linker. I'm just getting off of work. These are my court closed. Good news. None of my clients went to jail today. So that's awesome. Everybody out there in internet land should strive to do the same thing.
Well, let me just say this off the ASA topic. If any of them was toting that goatee mustache look, they probably should have went to jail.
Oh anyway, yeah,
back to ASA.
Yes, back to off of the child endangerment charges. Have you reported your proximity to the school zone? So you mean to tell me we can't hold hands and you tell me what I did wrong going towards the targets? Well, I'm not a spectator. I'd just be in your group. So I don't know about shooters holding hands there, Jake. But yeah, it's, it's probably going to be something where it's more of a think about your follow through instead of while you're at full draw. Now, don't drop your arm once this arrow goes. So there's different ways to say it. Instead of saying check your bubble before you shoot, afterwards you just ask them, did you see where your bubble was on it? Or instead of saying you've been right all day, you need to put some clicks in it. You can say, well, were you hitting right on the bags consistently? You're just asking them a question at that point. You're not telling them that they need to put some clicks in their bow.
And you're talking about the rule you said a while ago. That's the coaching rule, not what. Yeah, we've jumped back on everybody.
Yeah. Not talking about the spectators.
Yeah.
And so you can still go watch. You just can't. You got to stay on the trail, and they don't want you going back and getting coaching from there. So it's a little bit intermingled. They said some people have their their significant other. You're still allowed to go watch. You're just not allowed to go down the trail. You stay on the main path. Not down each individual lane.
Shooting lane.
You got to stay away from the stake. You can't be loud. You can't be distracting, which is probably what they meant. Yeah. For people like me, basically, they just can't shut up the whole time. Let's see what else we got.
What we're doing real quick, everybody, is Neil everyone has seen the new ASA rules for 2026. He's referred to Scott Paris on a few things to get some updated clarification on it. We're gone live today. Ask your questions over there in the comments. That way we can get them answered. If you do have some questions afterwards, still ask. I'm sure Neil will go back through because we want to make sure you get the proper information. Go for it, and I'll post the next one.
Competition classes. The changing, notwithstanding the restrictions above, anyone receiving less than $7,000 in sponsor support may request the ASA office to move down prior to competition to participate in a semi-pro class. So this is when you're a pro and they have set the limit for how much usually how much you win at the ASA is what dictates when you move up from a semi-pro class to a pro class. It says the original rule is anyone who receives sponsor support that exceeds $7,000 per year in products, equipment, services, or direct cash support is required to shoot in a semi-pro or higher. Anyone who's earned more than $10,000 in career ASA Pro-Am earnings must compete in semi-pro or higher unless a waiver has been granted by the competition committee. Notwithstanding the restrictions above, anyone receiving less than $7,000 in sponsor support may request the ASA office to move down prior competition to participate in a semi-pro class. So this is for like those people that are in between semi-pro and pro. I don't think this is going to affect 95% of the ASA shooters, but it's that threshold for when you can go back from the pro class to the semi-pro class.
You do it before the first shoot of the year.
Yeah. You probably would want to have that lined out before you show up at the first big pro-am. So when in doubt, my best advice is always call nationals. They're the easiest and fastest people to sort out, discrepancies of any kind. And they're pretty accommodating when you want to move a class up or down. They'll usually give you one move down, but I always tell people like, look, once you move up in a class and start shooting rounds there, it has consequences. ASA is mostly focused on, did you win money at a pro-am there? Now at state, we've already had our, everyone's had their move out conversations and everybody kind of knows if you won shooter of the year or you won state championship, most of them are, moved out unless it was a really close race or there's no one above you to go to. So that's kind of case by case basis. But now, go ahead.
I say Jake asked this while you were reading that. So I'm sorry. And I'm sure that was he was talking about going down the lane. Wanted to know about, he always thought that was a rule, but now that people just got to pay attention. Yeah.
And a lot of these are kind of, we always thought of them as just etiquette and ways that we kind of conduct ourselves on the range. Some people might abuse that, and now it has to be spelled out in a rule. And you never want every single thing to have to be a rule written, because the rule book looks like a dictionary afterwards. But, we're trying to be pro tournament bass fishing and trying to be the PGA Tour and trying to be one of those sports that's held in high regard. So sometimes you need to just lay it out for them, Right. Carson, you cannot shoot Eagle class.
That's why that was next.
No, Carson, Carson, you're not even going to be there anyways. You sold your bow off. I mean, you got a hunting bow right now. I guess you can shoot 145 if it's 299 or less foot per second. You got to take them broadheads off. You're not going to have any arrows left after deer season anyways, so I don't know what he's talking about. All right, let's go to some. I think these are semi-pro classes open to current ASA members in good standing. Competitors will be required to move up at the completion of the season to a pro class. They're receiving more than $7,000 in sponsor support. Man, that'd be nice. Get paid to shoot your bow, and I guess they do include equipment in there. So that was the definition of a semi-pro class.
Well, that's 1.5 bows in all the equipment anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say some of them's about there. New age class for 75 and above, senior legends. So everybody back to senior starts at age 50 to 60. Super senior starts age 60 to 70. And senior masters known is if you're over 69. Now we have a senior legends class for 75 and above. That's going to be a 30-yard max and 260 foot per second known distance. So that'll affect some people for sure, because the guys coming in their early 70s can still see a little bit better than some of our, some of us up in the 80s.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a great move to still see them adding classes just because they haven't in the past. That's because ASA hadn't been around for 30 years. Now that it's getting there for 35 to 40 years, those shooters are now aging and they still want to shoot, but they can't compete against the 65 years and the 60-year. So I'm really glad to see them recognize that there's still enough 75-year-old shooters attending the shoots and wanting to come. That's great.
Yeah. I was going to say, my only goal in archery was to shoot the master senior class, and now I guess it'll be to shoot the senior legends class.
There you go. Yeah.
That's shout out to
in Oklahoma, we'll call it the Rick Gilly class.
Yeah, I don't know that Rick will go to it. He might not. He's got a guy he competes with at those pro-ams. He wants to get a win off of him. So I don't know. Yeah. He does good at 40. The other new class this year is Senior Hunter 45. So that's the big one that everybody's had two years now in Hunter 45, coming up on their third season. They like the numbers in it, so they're going to give it a senior class as well.
Jake, we're going to go through the rules as he's going down them, so just try to listen in. We don't want to just jump all around so that we don't miss any. As he's scrolling down, he's reading any of the changes. But for your own knowledge, the best thing is pull up the rules and read them.
Yeah, there's nothing on K45 or 50 that changed in this all. For all the short bar classes, formerly called pins classes, your stabilizer, quick disconnect, and weights previously was not to exceed 12 inches. They have changed that to 18 inches. So you got another 6 inches to play with. That would be, you get a 15-inch bar, a 1-inch quick disconnect, and you still have 2 inches to play with your stabilizer weights.
And this is a public forum. Please keep those comments out that you guys are thinking about. Continue on, Neil.
Phrasing is important. No, I think this goes hand in hand with what the NFAA did. They just had their bow hunter class revamped to allow a 18-inch front bar with a slider sight. Still no lens, but that'll mirror the NFAA class change that just happened. So it's good to see them being on the same page to kind of let people do that. They have a specific rule written in for the new SOS systems. I know I've played with one of those. Dave's got one on one of his bows at the moment, but a stability optimization system, SOS for short, may be used, but must be attached directly to the front or rear stabilizer only. So that's for your pins classes. I'm guessing they're not letting you mount it on your bow.
Okay, so that's for pins classes only, not the open.
Yeah, I'm seeing that in Hunter 45. Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at all the open, pro and open classes. But yeah, directly mounted to the stabilizer. Dave shut us all down real quick. Dang it. Let's see. Okay, this is your pin equipment rule for adult, young adult, youth, and eagle. On your sights, all eagle 30 and 40-yard classes may use fixed pins with no pin limit, or a movable sight may be used without being locked down. Magnification is only permitted in senior pins and super senior pins classes. So all the pins classes, they didn't change the name of them. They just let you have a movable sight. So if it's 27 yards, you can dial it right to 27. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of your pin setup. A lot of people still like to gap. We had a good discussion on our last episode with the Steely family about how to do that and how to strategize. And we all had a good laugh about it when the new rules came out, because they're like, well, that was a big 30-minute waste of time, wasn't it? So I think everybody's kind of probably rushing out to buy a new sight right about now. They're all going to go get them a tack driver or a B3 slider, or, you know, some kind of single.
Upside to that is they only purchasing one equipment and can go do multiple things with it.
Yes, exactly.
And it might bring a few of those shooters over because they have the same equipment.
Yep.
Good move.
And they have the same rule for your front stabilizer, including quick releases and weights, may not exceed 18 inches. That's your front bar only. I believe your back bar is still a 12-inch maximum. And it's no V-bars in the pin group. I actually was unaware of that. So your pins classes are not allowed to shoot a V-bar.
Okay.
Didn't know that. Same rule about the SOS system, must be directly attached to the front or rear stabilizer only.
Front or rear riser only, not stable.
No, front or rear stabilizer only. Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, because a while ago I thought you said it has to be connected to the riser.
No, it's to the front or rear stabilizer only.
Okay, then I misunderstood you then. That makes sense, because they could use it as a V-bar setup on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you probably did say it right, and I was just thinking the opposite. So yeah.
But you're not in a pins class, Dave.
Well, we're here trying to help everyone out, and if I get confused, it is what it is.
I like Nolan and Hattie's comment there. The name should be changed to Hunter 30, 40, and 45. It's no longer. I agree with that. Pin or pins. I just call it short bar, no magnification. And then all the known classes and open classes are long bars and lenses. Yeah. So it'd be a lot easier to describe to people. But yeah, maybe the names will change. Here's one for the young adult, youth, and eagle classes. These classes are not based on their year of school, but on their age as of January 1st of the competition year. Here's the new part. Anyone who has competed and won out of an adult 40-yard class may not compete in young adult, regardless of their age of January 1st. So if you're a youngster and you jump up and win out of K40, you are done shooting in youth, young adult, anything like that. You are moved up. So you can shoot K45 with the heathens. You can go all the way to K50, anything like that, but you're not allowed to win out of a 40-yard adult class and go back to a youth or young adult or eagle class.
Yeah.
Seems pretty reasonable.
one real quick while you're scrolling. Everyone that's new, that's just now logging in to see us live, we're going to go real quick. Neil is going over the 2026 ASA rules changes. If you have any questions on that, please type them in the comments over there. We'll get to it. Back at it, Neil.
Shooter of the year for pros. This does not affect a lot of us, but this is probably after much controversy with the changes that they've made mid-year. I know they had to work around some weather changes. So here's the way the new rule reads. In all pro classes, the shooter of the year will be based on cumulative points from all 5 pro-ams and the classic. Points will be calculated based on the final order of finish following each pro shoot down, with 50 points for first place, 48 for second, 46 for third, with each succeeding place receiving 2 less points through 10th place, receiving 32 points. Top 10 ties will receive the same points. All remaining competitors will receive 30 points. All pro class shooter of the year paybacks will be for first place only. Upon completion of the classic shoot down, the closest to the center of the 10 ring tie break procedure will be used to break a tie if necessary.
Okay, if we're ever in that point, please go back and reread that yourself, because that is a whole lot to understand.
It's pole position points instead of
exactly. That's what it boils down to. Yeah,
there you go. Make it simple. And like I say, there's only 5 or 6 pros out of Oklahoma. And if you're a professional, I know you are more than capable of reading the rules. And I think your goal was to go shoot the best you can. And
that's right. They're going to know their own rules very well.
They were all trying to get first place already, I think.
That's right.
Yeah. If you ain't first, you're last. Remember that.
Yeah.
If you're coming in 30th place out of 58 guys, you got some work to do. So you're going to get your 30 points regardless and still be in the hunt. And I think it's good because it lets you have a bad tournament. Everybody gets 30. You reward the guys that are at the top of the heap, and you give the next guy, they come out and have a good pro-am the next time, they're right back in the hunt. So I kind of like it. It equalizes it. I haven't heard any, gripes or complaints yet from the people I reached out to today. Let's see what we got next. In classes that average less than 20 competitors for the season, only one place will be recognized for shooter of the year. Fair enough. Let's see. Looking for the red. That's all the red I got. That looks like it. We did that in 33 minutes.
All right. Anybody here listening right now have anything specific that wasn't in red, but is a question for Neil? He can pull it out real quick and give you an answer. So,
point of contentions.
Yeah.
Gripes, complaints. 99% of my job as the state director is fielding complaints and
doing a podcast with an indoor shooter,
listening to complaints, wondering, where's this? When are scores posted? When are scores posted? We're gonna have a new rule in Oklahoma for 2026. Every time you ask me, are scores posted yet? You can make a $50 donation to the Buckle Fund. And I will still put the scores up as quickly as possible. That was my number one most asked question. Are scores up yet?
Yeah, I can see that.
Love it. Yeah. Love it. We've got a website guy that loads them in. I put them on the Excel sheet, and then they magically appear on the website, usually within a short matter of hours. So appreciate everybody being patient. I think it's streamlined a lot. Let's see. New for 2026 in Oklahoma. Well, how much of the cat do we want to let out of the bag now? Do we want to go down the rabbit hole yet?
It's your call,
I guess. So we're going to change the team shoot for Oklahoma. After every qualifier, we would set out 5 targets, and we tried doing blind draw, but it ended up being a lot better turnout when you could pick your partner. So we're still going to have that for next year. We're going to change the payout structure a little bit. It's going to be $20 to enter per person. It was previously $10. So it's going to cost you double money. We are not going to pay out cash. We're going to be giving away to the winner 1 target per weekend. So of the 5 targets that are out for the shoot down, we're going to have our winter Saturday. And I haven't decided yet if we're going to put all our winter Saturday, our team winter Saturday, and our team winter Sunday. We're going to put all 4 of you either in a hat and draw, or alternatively, we're going to shoot one arrow closest to center from probably your max distance. So like kids, if you're 25 or 20 yard max, you'll shoot from about there. If you're 45 or 50 yard max, you'll probably shoot from there. And we're going to let you take one of those shoot down targets home every weekend. We're going to give a full range of 20 targets away throughout our qualifier season. The other side of it is we're going to be keeping the payback money. So we're not going to pay back cash, but I don't think we ever had more than $60 or $80 go out to a winning team. You're winning $40. Now you're going to pay $20 to enter, and you can have a 1 in 4 shot of winning a target. The other benefit of that is we're going to have them out early. And if you pay to enter the team shoot, we're going to let you warm up on them. So we're going to have 5 practice targets in the morning before your round starts that you can sight your bow in on foam instead of using the bags. So I think that's I think that's something that people will like, because there's a lot of people out there that don't really believe that your bow hits the same place on a bag as it does on foam. I've never had that problem, but I don't shoot good enough that it really matters. So I'm going to have those targets out there bright and early, right when you get there. And you can look at it one of 2 ways. You pay $20 and you can shoot the practice range, or you can pay $20 for a team shoot, and included in that is the practice range. Or you pay for the practice range and you get a free entry to the team shoot. All you have to do is go find your partner, and you might get to take one of them home, and you can practice in your backyard where you're first place every weekend, or I guess during the week. You'll be at the qualifiers on the weekend.
All right. Good. First hat.
Yeah.
Good one.
So that's my that's my big revelation for the team shoot. We've got a full range of 20 targets to give away. The schedule is pretty much done. I'm going to release that, I think, about November 1st. So we're about 20 days away from there. Still waiting on a couple of new clubs to confirm, but I think we've got 5 or 6 new clubs there. I can tell you there's going to be a qualifier or 2 every weekend. A lot of them are going to be doubles. So we'll have them within 40 to 45 minutes at the most of each other. So you can go shoot one in the morning and one in the afternoon, or you can shoot one on Saturday or Sunday. On those weekends where we have 2 of them, we're going to be rewarding people that show up and shoot both rounds. So we did this at the AMAM up at Shot 3DX and Big Creek, up in Nowata. We did all the winners from each class combined score in a drawing for, I think we did $1,000. And the way I'm going to do it is every 20 people, I'm going to give away $100. So if you come shoot both ranges in any given weekend and you win your class, your name will go in the hat. And I was kicking around the idea of doing 1 $500 winner or 5 $100 winners. So I think for every 20 people that show up and shoot both ranges, I'm going to put $100 in a hat with all the winners, and you can take home a $100 bill every single weekend. Because you're shooting 2 qualifiers, it's going to be $30 and $30. It's going to be $60. Well, you can cover both your entry fees and gas, and if you won both those, you're still going to get payouts from each individual qualifier. So we're going to be giving some of that money back to the shooters just to try to cover the cost, and we want to reward people that show up and take the initiative to come shoot. So
dude, that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be, it's just a way to, we got 40 targets back here, and they need some holes punched in them. And if you guys are going to come shoot, I want to reward you for that. So 5 100 would probably work out best. I agree. So it's going to be $100 for every 20 people that shoot both ranges. So
yeah, I think spreading the money out is really good. Let everyone get a little bit of something, and it helps justify the travels. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause if you're a family and you got 3 or 4 kids, that's getting up there pretty quick.
That's stopping at Wendy's on the way home.
Yeah. I was going to say, you get that extra large Frosty.
That's right.
I saw they were doing them like vanilla or strawberry or something the other day. I was like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Man, I don't know how many. I haven't had anything like that in forever now. So hey, yeah.
Well, I guess it's indoor season, Dave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trying to get ready for that.
Where's the next league starting up at?
For me, we're doing a league at H&H. Tom Stevenson with the Oklahoma Storm is starting his league. It's going to be on Tuesday nights at the H&H at 6 o'clock. You sign up at H&H, not through Tom. It's going to be Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. We're going to do a Vegas round, and you'd have to see his schedule. It goes for a while, and then we flip it to a five spot, getting ready for the indoor nationals, and all that. I don't think he's flipping it back to Vegas. Last year he flipped back and forth while people were getting ready for both. But that's going on. I have seen that Dewey, the Arrow shop up there, has already started some of their Thursday night jackpots.
Yep.
I've seen that going on.
UConn, Archery Traditions has one as well. I think that started this week. I bet you could go see Ken over at Archery Traditions, probably get in on that one.
Jeff and Gail have one going on at their shop at the Arrow store. Or I said Arrow store. Arrowhead. Arrowhead in Dell City. They've got something already going on and going in the works. I think they've got a hunter round and a target round. So if you want to just shoot animals, I think they've got those targets for both, one on one night and one on another. I haven't heard of any other shops yet. As soon as they do, we'll throw them out there. We want to just help promote and get everything going on. For archery. And
it's going to be a good way to, if you're not in the deer stand, and I think the H&H one starts on the 14th. So next Tuesday, we're at the 8th.
A week from today. No, a week from yesterday.
So that one will start then. I'm going to be there as soon as I'm not in a tree. So once the time changes in November, I will be out of my hunting obligation. I should be tagged out by then. I don't know what deer's problem is. It's rough out there, man. 98.
You mean it's not your problem? It's not your issue? Yeah.
I'm not the one getting shot. All right. I mean, they're the ones with a life sentence getting ready to execute. Yeah. So I plan on shooting some indoor. I don't know if I'm going to shoot my 23s or my 27s yet. I think I'm just going to shoot my 3D bow. I'm getting along with it a little better than the indoor bow right now, but y'all don't wait to come shoot indoor. What about HL? Jake, does HL still do? Are they still doing what they did one last year? I think HL's out in McAllister.
I'll say isn't that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure Wagner, you could contact Roger Hayes if you're up in the Northeast. I bet Wagner's got something going on about this time. I think they usually do one.
And we'd love to know all of them. Please send us and let us know so we can chat about it all year long. We want to, if we know of one, we will talk about it. Please let us know.
So it's early October. When's the first big indoor shoot?
Probably the Frozen Okie. It's going to be the USA, Oklahoma USA qualifier. It'll be the first weekend of December, held at Traditions over in Yukon. You must sign up online. It is 260 arrow shoots going on. I have also, and I've signed up. This is going on for indoors. There is an adult JOAD this year. They've had the JOAD tour before. This year they're adding adults to it. And people always think of JOAD as the Junior Olympic. Well, compounds are allowed. Adults are allowed this year. And folks, I'm in. The way I'm looking at this is it gives you time on a line with a clock beating in your face. Let's go shoot it. I'm in. I think it'll do nothing but good, especially if you plan on traveling. You're going to put $20, $30 up at a jackpot. You might get nervous. So get a little bit of this under your belt, get on the line. And that's what I'm doing it so that when I'm going to roll up to Lancaster and I'm going to do indoor nationals, really, I'm about to pull the string and go do Vegas. I just haven't pulled that this year. I am not going to make Rushmore Rumble, but there's no reason I can't shoot this little indoor tour. Hey, all of y'all listening in, you've got your ASA tour. You go shoot every weekend. This is an indoor tour for one of the few that we can do. As we say, we got in Oklahoma, the OSAA has their aggregate that goes on, but this is the first true spot tournaments going on that I know of. So let's help support it.
I think it's going to be good. It's grown every year. It started out just as a kids tour, and all the parents are like, this would be a lot better if I could shoot my bow. So we had to introduce them all to what are the rules on USA Archery. Well, no lights, under 60 pounds, 23 diameter max, and like
and your 10 is the baby X.
Yeah,
but the rest of the yellow's a 9. So hey, it's still fun. It's fun.
It'd be good. Yeah. It's so there's something out there for everybody. If you're gonna be in the deer woods, I'll beat this drum all the way through December. Safety harnesses, guys. Safety harnesses. We want. Greg Poole says it best. We want to hear from you, not about you. So please, if you're off the ground in any capacity, safety harness, saddle, anything, tie a rope around your waist. Just don't fall out of the tree stand on your head, please. I want to see you. If you can't make it out to indoor, I want to see you at the ASA next year. So safety harnesses, everybody. That's my only, that's my public safety announcement. That's about all I've got. But it seems like the slow season of archery, but it really doesn't when you look at all the indoor stuff coming up. It's all the big national stuff, and you're gonna have shops start, having their jackpots on the weeknights and stuff like that. So even if you're not ready, come hang out. If you don't know somebody, come hang out. Like I had more people that I met on the internet that would come shoot the Oakeyland jackpot last year. They'd be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" And I've never shot indoor before. What do I do? And I was like, well, see the middle of that target down there? The most points is in the middle of it. And then you shoot that one, and then you shoot the other two down there, and then you pull your arrows and you do it again. So,
speaking of that shop, folks, if anyone will make sure that they let us know so we can talk about theirs, because I haven't heard any dates at all from them. I know he's getting, or all the shops are getting over the mad rush. So if we can get some dates, folks, that's all we need. So we can push Oklahoma Shoots.
Go be nice to your shop owners. It's been a rough August, September, and October for them, and they've got the most frantic. You think that October, just because deer season started, it's like, oh, the rush is over. No, this is the last minute people that either haven't prepared or came in and they took their bow out of the case and their string was cut in half. So those are the most frantic people right now that are coming into your local shops going, please fix it. If you can't fix it, sell me something that'll work. And then I got to get it dialed in and tuned in 0 days time. So go, if you're not doing anything, go hang out at your pro shop and tie D-loops on, or tell somebody why their arrow is not the right spine. Cause a lot of deer hunters, they kind of look down on us target archers for being snobby know-it-alls, and he thinks he's better than all of us. It's like, no, I just want you to shoot the right spine arrow, bud. I don't care. If you're shooting a 500 spine arrow out of a 70-pound bow, I realize that it's faster and you can shoot 340 foot per second, but you're basically dry firing your bow over and over again. So, don't be that person. Be a good ambassador of the sport, and, go help your shops and just kind of hang out at them. So, if it's too hot to hunt, I love hunting early season. Everybody in the world says it's too hot and the deer aren't moving and and reasons why we can't make it work. It's like, well, just go hang out at your shop, because there's somebody in there that you can probably, you can make a difference in somebody's life in their archery world. So,
well, all right, Neil, let's roll this. Let's wrap it up. I just made my own little post right there, folks. We appreciate everybody for listening, posting. If you want to see some more of these live and everything, man, just let us know. That's all we can do.
I like it. I feel like everybody's here with us. So
yeah, it's really fun.
Definitely think so. We'll get this one chopped up and put on the internet for y'all to listen to driving down the road. Thanks for hanging out. Safety harnesses if you're in the woods, and 27 diameter arrows if you're not.
That's right. Y'all be good.